joined with Club Chairman Jez Dickinson as we sit down at the end of 2025 just to review how things have gone, both on and off the pitch. Jez, thank you for joining us on Brentwood Town TV.
Thank you.
Just thought I'd kick things off, Jez, with looking back over 2025 specifically. What has made you most proud as chairman of Brentwood Town Football Club, both on and off the pitch?
Well, I think it's been a sort of a roller coaster of 2025, really. It's been lots of highs. I think seeing the fans, both new fans, young fans, and fans that have been with us, probably watching the club for 10, 15 years, the excitement of seeing us finally being successful after a long period of time is going to be very proud about that. So looking off the pitch, just that pure excitement as we win the title, etc., and have done so well. And I think on the pitch, what makes you proud is the fact, I think that, yes, most people would say, however you get over the line, it doesn't matter as long as you win. But I think the unity and the togetherness of the whole squad on the pitch, no silly egos, everyone plays for each other, which is built up through the infrastructure, mainly through Keith and the management team, and getting the right players. So to win it in style and do it properly, as well as just winning it, is also special.
And from a personal point of view, how have you found the current season so far, back at Step 3 for the first time in 10 years for the club?
Yeah, well, obviously it's the first time that I've experienced Step 3, because we've always been in Step 4 since I took over. It's been exceptional. It's far exceeded really my expectations, both from a quality from going to grounds. That's just nice to go somewhere different from the teams we were going to. No disrespect to them, but just nice to go up another level. And the quality of the grounds and the hospitality and the style of play, there's quite a bit of difference. And I found it that we've adapted really well. That's testament to the players. That's testament to obviously Keith and the management team, but we have adapted well, and we've taken a lot of teams by surprise. And I found the whole experience, whilst I would rather not concede first in every game, and sort of maybe win slightly more comfortably sometimes, it's been exciting.
And what have been the biggest differences or the challenges that you've noticed at Step 3 compared to where the club has been in recent years? Like, have we perhaps learned any good lessons that will stand us in good stead moving forward off the pitch?
I think, the strength, the quality and the coaching of the teams is obviously a lot better, and it sounds obvious that it would be better in Step 3, but there is a distinct difference. It's actually been more of a difference than I thought, which is a good thing, in the quality, which has probably helped us more than anything, because sometimes the better quality teams we play, the better we play, and actually most of the time that is the case. I think the finishing in the last third is a lot better in this level, quite a bit different, and therefore what it teaches you is you can't make mistakes, you can't switch off for a second, whereas maybe we might have got away with it a little bit last year, and okay, we had a bad 10 minutes, we made a couple of mistakes, but we'll get back and we'll get, it's tougher to do, and you get punished more often. So the lessons are, make less mistakes.
And obviously, regarding improvements around the ground, I know we've got ambitions as a club. Are you able to share any of those plans or ambitions for developments around the ground, such as additional seatings, additional stands, and etc.?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to tempt fate, but you need to prepare for the future. And if you've got aspirations of where we want to get to, which obviously we do, I will say when we get promoted, whether it's this year or whether it's next year, but I'm looking it's going to be hopefully this year, in the National South level, you need bigger and better and different facilities that we haven't got here. So it's not really a nice to have, we need it to comply. So really there's quite a few things we need, as in just bigger boardrooms, and we need 3 more turnstiles, which obviously there's a cost and there's a lot of work to be done on that. But the biggest thing is we need a capacity of 3,000. And our capacity is really 2,000 at the moment, and that's pushing it. So we need another 1,000 people in here, and the only way we can't make the space any bigger. The space is the space. We will have to build a stand which hosts 1,000 people, and we've already got planning permission where we can get extra space behind the goal. At the far end, not the far, not the bell end, the other end, fridge end, where we can get planning permission to build a stand, and that's what we're going to have to do. So, I mean, that's going to be obviously a massive investment, a massive expense, and when we do that, what we will look to do is to build something for the future, which will be more than just 1,000-seater stand. It will be areas in the undercroft where you can have units behind it, where you can have units for the academy. We can look at, which is what we're looking at as well, is for a sort of 17 to 19, 20. But BTEC Academy for young men and girls, of putting together a course, BTEC and football, but we need classroom area, so that will give us the facility to do that, as well as areas for the community as well. So we're trying to look to obtain support, and it's something we're going to have to look at in a bit more detail to get that built and funded, because obviously it's not going to be cheap. So we have got plans for that, but we will need probably quite a little bit of support from hopefully the council, hopefully outside investment, and for us to do that. But somehow we're going to have to do it, because I don't think there's a few people who said to me, are you ready to go up? Are you ready? We're always ready, and we'll find a way to make that work. I can never understand teams that want to play competitive football in whatever level they play at and would rather not go up because it's going to be too much expense, too much hassle. What's the point in doing it?
I think that goes nicely into this next one. I think obviously yourself and Barry Heard have often spoken about the importance of being competitive and ambitious, but whilst remaining sustainable. How do you strike that balance in the current sort of football climate?
It's a tough one, that. It's not just about throwing money at anything. I wouldn't say anybody can do that, because they can't, but it's more than one-dimensional just putting money into a football club. You have to build it in a way where everybody feels engaged and part of it, and if it's just money's being thrown at it, it's not sustainable. It's just, as soon as that person stops putting money in, then it doesn't just stop, it goes backwards and collapses normally. So it's building something which is sustainable, which is, again, it's a bit like any building. Build it good foundations and you build it brick by brick, rather than try and build the top, half of it and try and build it all in one go. It's a chance of it falling down. So it's trying to get enough people to buy into the journey, including outside investment, local councils, staff, volunteers, the management team, the football club in general playing into the journey and all buy into it. And it's not easy, but I think we're not far away from that. And there's probably no coincidence that we're doing well without having to have changed the whole team and infrastructure, because we're building as we go. And that sort of ties into trying to keep that balance right.
And what would success look like for Brentwood Town over the next 2 to 3 years for you?
Well, on the pitch, it's National South minimum. That's success. Aspirations to go higher than that, but we don't want to stay where we are. As much as I've just said how wonderful the league is, I think the league above will be nicer. But success is to go up. So that's on the pitch, and then sort of more the overall success of the football club would be what we are building at the football club is, as we've seen in a few of our media posts and videos, etc., is more than a football club. So what we're building is something with infrastructure in all areas of the football club, with academies and what we do the community, etc., women's team, blah, 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 which creates a football hub. So what will success look like? Well, us to have carried on in the journey and built a football hub, which is the best in Essex.
And I mentioned Barry a couple of questions ago, but how important are platinum partnerships like those with Barry and Matchroom, and also ERB Insurance to the club's progress?
They're obviously invaluable. I mean, my business, my ex-business that I sold a year or so ago, is a business that I dealt with. It's in the travel industry with all cruise lines and the media, and everything was built on partnerships. Everything was built on long-term partnerships, not short-term success, because you need that. You need people to, in everything, it sounds like a cliche, but it has to be two-way for it to be a long-term partnership. Yeah, you can sell the dream to certain people, go, invest in the club, we'll be brilliant, we're going to do this, etc., etc. They may put, a few grand in, and you go, well, you're not doing anything for us, you're not, well, thanks for the money anyway. And it's easy for clubs to fall into it. Come on, invest in the club. What we do is we work hard at going, well, if someone wants to invest in the football club, that's because actually sometimes, and people have spoken to me before about put money into the club, and I declined because I didn't think it was for the right reason. I didn't think it was right for the club. And it's not just about getting money in there. It's about having proper partnerships. So even with Matchroom, Matchroom can afford to do lots of things financially, but Barry took a little while to want to support and help the club, which he's doing, because he wants to do it for the right reasons, and that's really important. So any partnerships that we have in, you've got to feel that they buy into our journey. And that's down to us to persuade them, and it's down to them to look beyond, well, we'll put in a few grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever it is, into the club and get our name here and get our name there. We have to work hard to get that partnership right, which is exactly what we've done with ERB. It was a slow burner, but they they're part of the club. They're intrinsic in what we do, and they love being at the club, and that's important to us. And then we have to work hard to make sure that their investment, they get a return out of it. However that return is, in maybe financial, maybe morally in the community, maybe networking, probably a whole plethora of reasons, but it's got to be a long-term partnership where everyone feels mutual benefit.
And we touched upon the community earlier as well. I mean, how do you think we can continue to strengthen our relationship with the local community as we look to grow as a club?
Well, again, since we had obviously the catalyst of having the pitch put down in August 24, it sort of changed the club really from day one, because it meant that we could have so many people, we can invite so many people to hire out the pitch and play on the pitch, including our academy, etc. So where we have our academy of 250 plus boys and girls, it's a massive part of the community. We have local football clubs that play other clubs other than our own on the ground. We have women's teams. We have charities that play. We have obviously our youth section. We have lots and lots of areas of the community that already use our pitch and already use our facilities, including local schools as well. And I think the question was, how can we build on that with the community? Well, building the stand will make a difference, because we'll have more areas in the undercroft underneath the stand for facilities like the academy, where they spend, if they have meetings, they get together. It's always in the bar area, which isn't probably ideally conducive for just young kids all the time. So we can find an area or areas, because there'll be probably 3 or 4 or 5 different units where we can allocate space for them underneath the stand, plus areas we can do that for a BTEC academy, plus areas we can do that for maybe local community use, and then that builds on the infrastructure that we have at the club, as well as obviously like having tournaments for schools and tournaments for which we've been doing as well. It's doing more of what we're currently doing, but you want to feel that, which includes the council, and we're speaking to them on an ongoing basis, that they understand and they do get what we're trying to do. It isn't just being a football club that gets promoted to the National South. It's building a football hub for the whole area.
And how can supporters, and especially our volunteers who give up their free time to help us out, both on a match day and off match days, play a strong role in the long-term vision of the club as we move forward? Yeah,
I mean, obviously the supporters and the volunteers are the lifeblood of the club. I mean, yeah, it's a cliche, but it's the truth. Without them, we wouldn't have a club. End of. So how can they play a role? Again, we've gone from, I took over, I think the average was 106 people, and then we moved it up to sort of mid 300s, maybe 375 or something last year was our average. We're now averaging close to 750, but we want to be, which is brilliant, and we've got those people, supporters-wise, we've got those coming in. But we need 1,000 plus, really, to make this, take us to the next level. How can they play a role? I think most people that come to watch our games, which I've had as well, have been not just successful, but entertaining. Sometimes too entertaining from a stress level, but they have been entertaining. And I think people don't just want to watch boring games where it doesn't matter how you win. Actually want to watch exciting attacking football, which is what we do. And most people that come to the ground watch the games. We're getting there. It's a slow burner. I wish it was quicker, but it takes time, and I'm an impatient person, and so I have to be patient about it. Is that when people come, they go, "This is great. I haven't been in 2 years. It's the first time I've come, or I support so and so normally, and I've come along to watch the game." What we need, how can the supporters help, and how can that work? Is they can tell their mates, they can spread the word, they can to talk to people at their schools or local community or work or whatever it is, and go, "Well, you fancy coming down and watching Brentwood? It's good football, good club, etc." So we want to look after the fans, and we want the fans to keep looking after us by actually trying to work themselves to get extra people at the ground, because I think most people that come enjoy it. And regarding the volunteers, I mean, again, we're lucky to have the group of volunteers that we have. I'm hoping that it's sort of part of the family where people feel engaged and they feel part of something which is successful but encompassing for everybody, and therefore it's good. You want people, even the volunteers, to have skin in the game, that they feel part of it, and it's important they're accountable, and because I think that's what people want. They want to feel that they have an important role to play, and all the volunteers at the club do.
And finally, as we close 2025, what message would you like to send to our supporters as we look ahead to the new year?
Message I will give will be very, very short and sweet for 2026, in effect. Strap yourself in. The journey's just beginning.
Well, I appreciate your time, Jez. Thank you for going through all of that with us. And we will see you in the new year as we look to progress as a club and hopefully push for those playoffs.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you.